So before we transition to the next speaker, I want to tell a little story. And actually what I want to do is I want to share something that I've noticed in my journey that really just separates the posers from the professionals. You know, when I first got into entrepreneurship, I wanted to create success for myself. I wanted to really get ahead. I wanted to have all these awesome results. And I saw other people that were living a lifestyle at the time I could only dream of. They had the nice cars and the nice watches and the big houses, and they were traveling the world and they were eating expensive restaurants. And I thought, oh my gosh, it would be so cool to be able to do that one day. And for most of us, right, with Instagram and different social media apps now, that's all we really see. All we really see is the success and the growth and the results. We don't really ever see the sweat equity that took to get there. And I remember one time I was really fortunate enough to be speaking at a keynote event with Gary Vaynerchuk in the back room. And I was talking to Gary and he just said, people forget the grit. People forget to show the work ethic that is required to actually create monumental levels of success because they're insecure, they don't want to show their whole life, and they're just not willing to talk about the tough times as well. And what I noticed was I had seen people in my career achieve levels of success, and then they lose that level of success, but their identity stays the same, right? Maybe they're making a certain amount of money and that money goes away, but they still want to live a lifestyle that matches that old income. So what do? They become someone they're not, right? They project this lifestyle that doesn't match their current situation. And they keep trying to fake themselves, trying to go, okay, I can do it if I do this. I can show this lifestyle that's not matching where I'm at right now, but eventually I'll get there. Why? Because they don't have the humility to get their hands dirty, to get back to work, to get back into the grind. And because of that, they never reach new levels of success, right? They never reach that next goal that they aspired for themselves. So sure, they may seem cool online, they may have a perception online, but it's not real. They can't actually walk into that lifestyle. So there's a lot of people in this space, right, that are those posers, that are amateurs, that aren't really able to get their hands dirty to create success. But this next individual that you guys are going to be really fortunate to hear from, he's not one of those people. This is someone who I can respect so much because when this person made a decision years ago to become an entrepreneur, to become a success story, become financially free, he said, look, this is the goal I have for myself. How I get there, I don't mind getting my hands dirty. And that's exactly what he did. He worked jobs, he worked at restaurants, he busted tables, he did thing from thing to thing to create enough to create enough active income to put into his main business. He would work till 10 p.m. at night and then stay up till 2 a.m. trading and then wake up at 6 a.m., go back to work, right? While other people go, oh, I can't get a job. I made 50 grand one year in a business that failed in 6 months. I'm too good for a job. This guy was hustling multiple different things all at the same time, working double shifts, and eventually, right, crushed his first 6 figures in this industry, then his first multiple 6 figures in this industry, then took that success, took that capital and reinvested into other companies, and now runs other businesses, a multi-million-dollar e-commerce company, and has been able to diversify into all these other planes. But why was he able to do that? Because he was willing to get his hands dirty, because he was willing to let the grit not be something that he was too good for. So I want you guys to learn from that mindset. I want you guys to pay attention and drop a 777 in the chat if you're ready for yours truly, the Mike Sancho.
Derek, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And Auvoria Prime, it is a pleasure and honor to be here speaking with you today. And I want to congratulate you guys for taking the time to invest in your success. And this talk is very important, guys. I'm going to give you guys all the keys that helped me to become successful today. So this is titled Upward Spiral, and it's about adopting a bulletproof mindset and preparing yourself for infinite abundance. So what we're talking about today is going to be compounding your situation, compounding your life in a positive direction, right? So everything starts in the mind, guys, okay? Your mind is what controls everything, and really think about that, because thoughts become things. Look around where you're at right now. Are there couches, chairs, TVs? Someone had to think of that before it came into existence in reality. So with your success, the first place you need to create that is going to be in your mind. It's true that if you master your mind, you will master the universe. And understand, guys, that everybody is equal. Nobody is better than you, right? People that you see today, doing crazy things in the world, running major businesses, okay, they're no different than you. They're a person just like you are. So what you guys need to do, number one, is understand which direction are you going. Are you spiraling upwards or are you spiraling downwards? Okay, so you need to assess your situation now, and you need to make that conscious decision to spiral upwards. And please, guys, be honest with yourself. Don't just say, hey, yeah, I'm going in the right direction just for the sake of saying it, right? You have to be true and honest with yourself, because what you're going to need to do, guys, is you're going to need to make that decision. That is the most important part. It is the foundation for your success. And another thing that's really important is going to be self-accountability. That's a theme for my talk today, because that's the only true form of accountability is self-accountability. You can have accountability partners, but at the end of the day, you can lie to an accountability partner. You can't lie to yourself, okay? So self-accountability is the only true form of accountability. And we are what we repeatedly do, guys. It's the compound effect. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with it, right? We're all trading Forex. Everyone knows about compounding their Forex account, but we also want to compound our lives in that positive direction. So if you're improving daily, that's going to lead to that exponential growth in the future. And if you have really bad and poor habits, well, you guys know the counter to that. You're heading downwards. And you can't really tell in the day-to-day because it looks like a flat line until you hit that exponential curve of the actual compound effect. So how you do anything is how you do everything, guys. It's very, very, very important. So you need to commit to excellence. You need to commit to discipline. And guys, discipline, all that is really just a form of self-love, right? Being disciplined is having love for yourself, your fitness, your health, your success. Here's some basic examples, guys, and this should be really common sense to you, right? Eating healthy, that's a form of discipline, but it's self-love, okay? Working out, exercising in the gym, right? You may not want to go and feel like working out, but you tell yourself, hey, I know it's good for me. I need to get into the gym because that's how I'm gonna be healthy. So you force yourself, and through that discipline, it's a form of self-love. And the same thing can be applied when it comes to working your business. That is just self-love for your finances and your life. It's super, super important. So let me back things up, guys, and talk a little bit about my story and where I came from so you can get to know me a little bit better, and you can see how these things that I'm teaching you, I've actually put into effect myself, right? Going into my past, I had no success, guys. When I was younger, I used to get into a ton of trouble. Believe it or not, I got expelled from high school, guys. And then somehow I made it into college, and guess what? I got expelled from college. Who does that? I don't know, not many people, guys. But from that point on, I was like, man, my life is going in a negative direction. I'm spiraling downwards. It's getting out of control. I'm on my own. I'm an adult now. I don't have mommy and daddy to help me out. And my life is in the dumps right now. And that's really where I made that decision. It was my defining moment where I said, you know what? I'm going to pull a 360 and I'm going to radically change my life for the better. And I'm going to achieve massive, massive, massive success, like off the scale. Everyone's gonna be completely blown away with how I flip my situation around. And once I made that decision, that's that line in the sand moment, okay? There is no passing that. So I made that decision and I immediately went out, guys, and I applied for 50 jobs in 2 days, okay? And then I had a bunch of different offers, and you know what? I took the first two that came to me. So I was working for $10 an hour as a dishwasher, and then I got a job at Subway for $7.50 an hour. And if you remember, guys, how I talked about how you do anything is how you do everything. So even though I hated those jobs and I didn't want to show up, I forced myself to excellence. I forced myself to be disciplined. I said that I'm going to outwork everybody no matter what it is that I'm doing, whether I love it, I hate it, I'm just gonna work harder than everybody. So I started showing up earlier than everybody. I started cleaning the restaurant before I was clocking in. I started taking people's shifts. I started staying later without getting paid. Guess what, guys? Within 5 weeks, they made me the manager of that restaurant. And I was only like 21-year-old kid. There are people that had been working there for years. I come in 5 weeks, I outwork everybody, and now I'm the manager. And you can apply that principle to everything in your life. If you go all in, guys, you are going to achieve massive, massive results, okay? And then I took that, same work ethic and discipline, and I applied it into my business, okay? I was working 80, 90, sometimes 100 hours a week, 7 days a week. I remember there was a period where I worked for about 3 years straight, 7 days a week, every single holiday. It was out of control, guys, but I was so disciplined and so hungry because I made that decision. And when I would get home at night, I would be working my business up until the very, very late hours, and I was sleeping only a couple hours, going to work the next day. I really pushed myself to the limit. And back then, my vision was just as clear as it is now because I knew where I was going the whole time, guys, okay? A lot of people will say, well, yeah, it's easy for you to have this vision and know where you're going because you're successful and you make all this money and stuff like that. But guys, my vision was exactly the same when I was completely, broke, right? I had no way of, saying, hey, this is what I'm going to be. This is what I'm going to achieve, right? Other people, when they heard that kind of thing out of my mouth, they didn't believe it. But in my head, I knew exactly where I was going the whole time. And really, I challenged myself with how hard I could go, and I embraced the struggles. And guys, it wasn't easy along the way. There were many lessons learned, or as you might call them, failures, but really, I love to fail. Anytime I can go out and fail, that means that I'm learning lessons and I'm getting better. So I had no loss of enthusiasm from failure to failure. And that's what I like to call success. So what are the things that I actually did? Let's talk about actionable steps that you guys can put into your life, put into action today that's going to take you to the next level. So there's 4. And if you guys aren't taking notes already, please make sure that you're taking notes on this section. It's very important, and it's no secret that note takers are money makers. So number 1, like I talked about, the decision, okay? There's a quote I love. I learned it a few years back, and I have it on a reminder on my phone. Every single day, my phone goes off and reminds me with this quote, and I read it out loud. It says, you can have whatever you want if you're willing to do whatever it takes. I'll repeat that. You can have whatever you want if you're willing to do whatever it takes. So you have to make that decision. Number 2, I scheduled my time. You can't get things done without a schedule. You can't build a business without a schedule. You must plan your work, then work your plan. And then number 3, taking action. Nothing happens without action. This should be complete common sense to you. The distance between dreams and reality is that action, and then following up is the last thing I did. The fortune is truly in the follow-up. A lot of you guys are not following up with the people you talk to about this business, and that's really where the gold mine is at, is in that follow-up, guys. That's where the gold is at. So let's go a little bit deeper. The decision, okay? Becoming successful, guys, is just a choice, okay? And this is where you make that choice. If you're watching this presentation today and you haven't drawn the line in the sand, you haven't made that all-in concrete decision that you're gonna be successful no matter what happens, you need to make that today, guys, okay? Because it literally is just a choice, right? If you wanna be successful, it's a choice. Prior in my life, my choice was that I didn't wanna be successful. My choice was that I'm gonna be a bum, and that was my result. But as soon as I switched my decision and where I wanted my life to go, that's how I was able to become successful. So here's a little tip that helps me, guys. I want you to look into the mirror. You can do this tonight or, during a break, go into the bathroom, guys. Look in the mirror, okay? Gaze very, very deep into your soul, okay? Think about everything that you desire in life, and I want you to access your why and look at yourself, guys. Really, really look deep and think, what do you want out of this life? You have one shot, all that we know for sure, okay? You're here for one life, okay? We all have great theories about what happens after, but really all we know for sure is that we have this one life here today. So I want you guys to decide. Draw that line in the sand and say, this life is going to be the best life, okay? And there's no going back. Once you fully commit, you always need to remember that hunger. You really need to want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, okay? One thing that I like to do is literally, like, if I feel like I'm not succeeding, guys, I really feel like I'm drowning, okay? So you really need to want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe. You can go to the next. Okay, guys, and then the next step is going to be the schedule, okay? Really important to map out your time, guys. You have to plan your work and then work your plan. Nothing gets done without a schedule, okay? So when you're talking about scheduling in your business, we need at least 2 hours per day commitment and a minimum of 6 days per week. And you can go more if you want faster results. But really what I'm talking about here, guys, this is only 12 hours per week. 12 hours per week, and you can pretty much max out this compensation plan, but you need to be really focused and dialed in when you're doing that work. And like I said, if you want to go faster, you can go faster. Schedule in as much time as you possibly can, but you need to make sure that you're working it, and that time needs to be non-negotiable. Okay, you can't, negotiate with yourself when you say, hey, this is the 2 hours I'm gonna sit down and work my business. You can't push that off to the side. No matter what, that work has to get done. So what you guys need to do, if you need to free up some time, is you need to cut out less important things, okay? Audit your current schedule. And guys, let's be honest here. We all know that you're probably wasting a lot of time. How much time daily are you spending watching Netflix, scrolling social media, doing nothing that's leading towards your future and the goals that you want to hit? Chances are you're wasting a lot of time, guys. So I need you to audit your schedule. Go through every single hour of your day, map out your game plan. There's a common phrase in network marketing that says, show me your schedule and I'll show you your paycheck. So if you're mapping out your time, you're working the time, you're exposing the business, you guys are going to be ranking up. And during that time, you need to sit down and expose the whole time. IPAs only. Okay, guys, IPA stands for income producing activity. So when you schedule out that time, make sure that you're getting to the action, okay? Taking action is the best. It's called network marketing. It's literally right in the title, guys. Work is right there. It's not hidden anywhere. Work is what works. And here's a little tip to help you guys end that procrastination, because really that's what's going to keep you from taking that action, is that, just pushing it off into the future. I'll get to it tomorrow. I'm going to do it later. And then this comes up, that comes up, whatever happens, it just gets brushed off and it never gets done. So little tip, just repeat this phrase to yourself in your mind. And that's going to be, do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now. Anytime that you have something that you need to do and your mind starts to go, oh, well, I don't really feel like doing that, or I can do this tomorrow, just cut it out, okay? And tell yourself, do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now. And start to program your subconscious where this becomes automatic, guys. Anytime you have to do something, you don't hesitate, you don't wait, you don't procrastinate. You just get to it because you're telling yourself, do it now, and you're taking that action. So when you're taking action, guys, very important, this business is built from people, okay? It's a people business. So that means you actually have to go and talk to people, right? Crazy, I know. So that means that you need to go out and show the plan. That is the only way that your business is going to grow. See, guys, this business is built on sales. And sales only come from exposure, because think about, where's your commission money coming from? It's coming from the revenue that's generated by your organization collectively. So that means if there's no sales coming into your business, there's no revenue being generated in your organization, you're not earning any commissions. So that means like 99% of your time needs to be focused on production and actually selling the product. New people need to be coming in and purchasing packages and access passes, guys, okay? There is a direct correlation between how many eyes you have on the opportunity and the amount of new customers you have joining. Imagine if I exposed 10,000 people to this opportunity and you showed 2 people. Who's signing up more? Okay, clearly I am, guys, okay? And then the last piece to this puzzle, that's going to be in the follow-up. Like I said, the fortune is truly in the follow-up. If you're not following up, you're leaving all that money on the table, and really you're just spinning your wheels and kind of wasting your time. So on average, guys, sales take 5 to 12 exposures. So if you're not following up, like I said, you're wasting your time and your effort, and you're losing many customers. And this is one of the easiest businesses that you can actually follow up with, because most of the time it really just comes down to sharing results with people. Because how long can they really sit on the sidelines of watching you make more and more and more money using our products and our software tools and not want to get involved, right? I understand that when you first show people, a lot of them are going to be skeptical. So they need that proof, and they need that assurance. They need that follow-up, and they need to know that you care, guys. So How are we actually doing a lot of these follow-ups? Well, we're doing it inside of the private results Facebook groups, okay? Sharing your investor passwords of your Forex accounts with your prospects, and also sharing your documented, verified track records through the MyFX books. Okay, these are all forms of follow-ups, guys. It doesn't mean you have to talk to them 5 to 12 times, but they need to be exposed 5 to 12 times. So you need to make sure that you are herding them into these groups, giving them these investor passwords, sharing these MyFX books, because if someone's just on Facebook and they're watching their timeline and they see a post from inside of your private Facebook group, that's an exposure, guys, okay? So very, very important, and understand that no does not mean no, guys. It means not right now. When you first bring this to someone for the very first time and they hear it, and their mind's gonna start going in circles, guys. They're gonna be skeptical because they don't know anything about Forex or automated trading softwares or expert advisors or compound growth or investing or anything like this. So when they hear it all at once, guys, they're not just gonna jump on it and be like, yeah, that sounds great, right? They're gonna have to think about it because they're naturally skeptical, and people don't like to be sold. People love to buy. They don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. So they need to come to that decision, that conclusion in their own mind that, hey, this is a good idea to do this. Okay, and then really important, guys, we have the 4 classes of buyers. This is where you're gonna, see exactly how important the follow-up is. This is gonna give you a visual representation of why it's so important to follow up, and that's how you're going to gain momentum in your business. So if you guys did not know already, there are 4 classes of buyers. We have the instant buyers, 30-day buyers, 60-day buyers, and then 90-day buyers and beyond. Okay, so with the instant buyers, okay, that's only 2% of people, guys. 2% of people. What is an instant buyer? Well, that means you show them the opportunity, it clicks, they're like, whoa, this is awesome, let me buy, here's my card. Okay, that's not most people. I know in a golden world where everything just works perfectly, we would love for that to happen, right? It would make life so much easier, but that's not reality, okay? So that's only 2% of people. So if you're just exposing people one time and then you're not following up, like I said, you're just spinning your wheels, okay? Then next, we have the 30-day buyers. What is that? That's someone that you talked to 30 days ago. They saw a couple follow-ups. They joined your Facebook group. They're following your MyFX book. They're watching your account. They're seeing profits being made. They had to get, a paycheck or whatever from their job. Whatever the case may be, 30 days later, now they're making that buying decision. Okay, and then you have the 60-day buyers, which is like the 30-day buyers, except they took a little bit more time, about 2 months. Then you have the 90-day buyers and beyond, same thing. It took them 3 months or longer to decide, okay? So this is why that consistent daily action is so important, because you need to get to the point in your business where you have all 4 buyers joining at once, okay? After 30 days of consistent action and exposing people to the business daily, you now hit 2 classes of buyers joining at once. You have your 30-day buyers joining, and now you have the instant buyers joining. After 60 days of consistent daily action, now you have 3 classes of buyers joining. You have the new people you're exposing today. You have the people from 2 months ago, and you have the people from a month ago. And then once you hit that 90 days and beyond, now you've actually filled your pipeline, and you're gonna be enrolling consistently into the business because you have all 4 classes of buyers joining. You have the instant buyers joining. You have the 30-day buyers, the 60-day buyers, and the 90-day buyers plus, okay? Now, very, very, very important, guys. We need to understand what are the negative forces that can stop us from achieving our goals. And there's 3 main ones, guys, which is criticism, right? And I love this quote from Grant Cardone. He says, if nobody is hating on what you're doing, then nobody knows what you're doing. This is gonna be the case with network marketing, guys, because you're gonna be talking with a lot of people, which means they're gonna know what you're doing. And that means you're gonna get that criticism, and people will be very, very brutal and rough with that criticism. But if you already anticipate it and you're ready for it, you'll be prepared and you can just brush it off. It's no big deal. Now, the second thing is isolation. There's a good chance that your friends and family members will start downing your dreams, making you feel lonely, making you feel like an outcast for wanting to have a better life, for wanting to pursue these dreams, okay? So you need to be aware of that. And a good remedy for that is gonna be getting around like-minded people. So you wanna make an effort to be a part of this community here with Auvoria Prime, because this is a community of like-minded people that are here to help you guys. And then the last part is rejection. You're just gonna get this a lot because, hey, this isn't for everybody. So you need to become bulletproof. You need to adopt that rhino skin, and you need to have a lock on your mind. A lot of us have a lock on our phones, we have a passcode, but we don't have a lock on our brain. So we need to make sure that you're putting an actual lock on your brain. Nothing can get in there, okay? And then the last piece, guys, you gotta be yourself. Be proud to be yourself, unapologetically. Never apologize for being you. I'm talking about radical self-love. And guess what, guys? You are worthy of all that you desire. And people join people. So you need to be real. You can't just be like a recruiting robot. Show your vulnerabilities. Tell your story. Be authentic. And do not lie. Do not hype sell. Do not pitch heat. And do not be manipulative. That's one of the worst things that you can do. Be yourself, guys. Recruit with love and positivity and show that you care, okay? So that's gonna be it for me, guys. That's my talk. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Mike Sancho with Auvoria Prime, and I will see you at the top or from the top. That choice is yours.